No, you are not seeing a ghost right now. This is actually me. After almost 2 months, I have finally returned.
Zeus! Your son has returned.
Not all of you, but I suspect quite a few of you who have been actively following my channel for any amount of time are probably wondering what the hell happened to me, but all I can say is that I'm up to my usual shenanigans to where I'm just like, I'm gonna take a break, and then it just turns into this giant-ass 2-month break with no explanation. So again, I'm sorry. Being honest, you know the deal. We've been through this so many times. I do this to myself. It's my own fault. I really don't have any other excuse besides that. So I'm sorry once again. I apologize. I really shouldn't have not released part 2 of the finale and then just waited all this time to do it, because I watched it the same day. It's not like I did part 1, took a massive break, and decided to watch part 2 just now. I watched the whole thing all together, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna edit the second one and upload it the next day. But then I was like, the next day's here. I'll do it tomorrow, and then tomorrow and tomorrow, and just kept going on and on and on until here we are. So that's my bad. So as I was saying, this is part 2 of my season finale reaction. It's finally here. Jesus Christ. But anyway, I have a few more things to say before I just hand it off to my nearly 2-month-old reaction here. First thing I'm gonna say is that I found a sort of drive, or let's say inner motivation, to start doing consistent uploads. So if you're still interested in anything I have to react to, because there's still quite a few things I have planned. In particular, on Sunday, House of the Dragon is releasing. So if you're interested in that, I will be reacting to it. Next week, I'm gonna be exploding with reactions. In particular, Daredevil. I've already watched 2 episodes as we're speaking. Episode 12, and yeah, the season finale is 13 each season. So I've finished season 1. Season 1 is done. I'm gonna upload that next week. So after House of the Dragon is gonna be the next episode after this, and then after that you can find my next 2 Daredevil reactions. So Daredevil fans, I've not forgotten about you, and I've not forgotten about that glorious show. I will get back to it because I actually started watching it again. Those reactions are done, so they're gonna be up on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday potentially, but they will be up 100% next week because they're done. I've already watched them. And then the week following that, next Monday, the Monday after, so when I release House of the Dragon series, the first episode, a week from then, when episode 2 is just about airing, you can find my X-Men The Last Stand reaction. We're finally getting back to the X-Men reactions. I've only watched 2 out of the entire series, and we have a whole heap of movie reactions afterwards, but for now, I'm focusing on the X-Men. I am 100% banging these out. I'm only going to Logan. I'm not going to watch, I think it's Dark Phoenix, the one with, Sansa Stark, what's her face? Sophie Turner. Yeah, I heard it was awful and not really a necessary watch, so I'm only going to watch up to Logan. Maybe some point down the road I'll watch it, but we're only going to Logan because I'm kind of viewing the X-Men franchise as more so the Hugh Jackman franchise, like his story, the story of Logan, the story of Wolverine. So that's really what I'm leading up to, is Logan. So yeah, that's just a little update on what's going to happen. But anyway, hope you guys enjoy this. This is my 2-month-old Stranger Things season finale of season 4 part 2. So quite the mouthful there. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy this. And I'll catch you at the end of the reaction because I'm going to have to talk about it because I never did my post-reaction discussion. So if you want to know my thoughts now, 2 months later, just check me out at the end of the video. So I'll see you folks then. The shield!
Is there any evidence?
Whoa, Jesus Christ. It's a wooden door that ain't gonna hold. Go, 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 go. Oh, no. What is he doing? Don't do it, Stranger Things. Don't add another great character and just kill them. I loved Eddie this season. Oh, fuck, it's the door. I was gonna say, don't keep turning around like this. They always appear behind you when you do that.
It's time.
She would have come to me! Not Eddie! Not that freak, never!
Get him, Lucas! Yes! Let's go, Erica! It's always the Sinclair parallel between the two of them. Don't break it! fuck. Come on, Elle, where are you at? There she is! Oh, the same move he did with her, making her turn around.
I mean, look at us. We are not heroes.
Literally D&D warrior come to life here. The hero he never said he would be. There's so much going on. They keep cutting to the 3 different segments of what's happening. It's crazy. Nice. Oh.
Are you real? Did I make you?
I piggybacked from a pizza dough freezer.
What?
It's like a Sith and a Jedi. Oh, with the lightning in the back, that was sick.
I want you to watch. Papa did hurt me, but he was no monster. He could not control us. I was somewhere new. Ruler of a realm unspoiled by mankind.
This psycho's dreamland.
I saw a means to realize my potential.
He made the... That's why it looks like a spider! His ultimate predator. Holy fuck, he made it.
That was you. Always you.
Building it. For you.
Oh, that's right.
Mike, don't stop. Okay, you're the heart. Okay, remember that. You're the heart.
Just say it. Say what she's wanted you to say.
You home. And I knew right then and there, in that moment, that I loved you. Fight!
Lucas! Oh, fuck, that's the big one. Holy shit. Oh, man. They almost had me for a second there with Max and everyone. Oh. Murray. I don't think Eddie's good, though. That's right, his body. Full-grown adult is much stronger. Come on, Jim. Finish the fight. The 1v1! Look at this monster slayer.
You have already lost.
You have.
Bro, what? Shotgun him! Why is he just standing? Is he gonna be gone? Yep. I was gonna say that seemed way too easy.
I didn't run away this time, right?
No. You didn't run.
I think it's my year, Henderson. I think it's finally my year.
I love you, Dad. Dad, come on. Daddy!
I can't feel or see anything.
I know. It's okay. I know.
I don't want to die. I'm not ready.
You're not gonna die. Please just hang on.
I don't want to go on. I don't want to.
You're not gonna die. Hang on. Just hang on. We're gonna help. No. Max. Please stay with me. Help.
4 times.
Like a giant X meeting at the library.
You're not going.
Not Hopper. Not Mike. You.
Everybody's getting the hell out of there. They finally made it back. Is the gate just gonna be out in the open?
8 hours since a 7.4 magnitude earthquake rocked the quaint town of Hawken.
You could see the vines though.
Murders which have been linked to a local satanic cult known as Hellfire. Eddie Munson, the leader of this cult.
It's the most reasonable truth they can accept. Oh, their reunion.
You are never going on vacation again. You can, in fact, you can risk contact.
Hey, I'll tell you everything, okay? I promise.
Oh, Steve, man.
He's at the hospital. We've been calling you guys like crazy. I know. We came as soon as we heard.
I love how this segment has no music. It's just conversation. It really feels like aftermath and resolution.
They say it's a miracle.
Season 5, I know she'll be able to make contact with her in her mind. Or potentially now. Jesus, this episode just keeps going.
You're good. No, I'm sorry. My brain's just been a little frazzled lately because
Of everything.
yeah. It's like sometimes my mouth is moving faster than my brain, and it's like this runaway train, and I cannot seem to get it to stop no matter how hard I try.
Now, Robin knows exactly what you mean.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean.
Thank you. Early birthday.
Thank you so much.
Oh, his uncle.
My nephew's innocent. He's still missing. I'll put up as many posters as I need till he's found.
I was with him when the earthquake hit.
It's the guitar pick.
Because they would have loved him. Mr. Munson. They would have loved him. He never stopped being Eddie. Could have saved himself. But he fought to protect this town. This town that hated him.
I have no idea when this episode is gonna end. It just goes on and on. I'm not complaining, but really. Imagine if Jim came back and we had that reunion. We didn't have to wait till season 5 for that reunion. Oh, that would be beautiful.
Seriously.
Why are you going through the fridge? There ain't nothing in there. He didn't even tell her yet.
Your application letter.
He's not gonna tell her.
She's never lost before. Not like this.
She'll have another chance.
Let's hope not.
Here. In Hawkins.
Can he get the sense back?
Feel him. I can still remember what he thinks and how he thinks.
Please. Please! Don't make me wait till next season! Who is this? Oh, come on. Please be him. Let's go. Let's fucking go, man.
I kept the door open 3 inches. I never stopped believing. You look
Not fat. I kind of stole your look, kid.
went to your conference. That was quite the experience.
You shrunk.
He looks really good now. Hop's always been a beast, but now he's a super fit one. He's playing the theme. What a fucking episode. What a finale. Is that dust? That ain't snow. Look at the split between the dead grass and the flowers. Oh, it's mold. It's opening again. What? How? God, the music is going so fucking hard right now. And it's just gonna end like that. A bit different ending than I thought. It was still kind of like, fuck, man, it's gonna happen. They're here. Season 5 is gonna be crazy, obviously. But the way they were saying this episode, I thought it would be a lot less cheery. I mean, technically, it didn't end on a good note, but it did. We had the reunions that I wanted. We didn't have to wait till next season to get them. Max is alive. It's not that I'm disappointed with the way it was done, but I need a little bit more into how 11 did that. Like, did she jumpstart her heart? That might have been how. I mean, it looked like she touched her chest. There was that. I saw Jason die, which was like, yes, he got ripped apart by the gate. Holy shit. And that Lucas scene, man. Holding Max. Oh, that was like gut-wrenching. That was incredible acting and a really, really powerful scene. This episode had a shit ton of amazing scenes. This whole season is by far my favorite, and I think by far this was the best season that they have ever had. It was spectacular on every level. Like, the CG was phenomenal, everything, the aesthetics, the design, camera work, the music was fantastic. The acting has been on another level this entire season, and the storytelling still gets really good. It gets better. A lot of drama. There's the bits of comedy that we all know and love. The heart of the story, even as Will was saying, the heart is there. That's what makes it so special when these characters meet, when they talk, when they engage together. It's just such a beautiful thing to see. But then you have the underlying dark story that sort of splits it all, that makes it this dualistic thing, and it makes it so damn exciting. Just the way they brought together this entire season, I thought, is just fantastic and quite literally out of this world, no pun intended. I thought this entire season was great. My favorite so far, as I have said before, but I really can't wait for the next season. I don't know what is going to go on, but as I said, after I rewatch these 2 episodes, we're going to talk more about them. So you can see this reaction discussion now, because I'm going to transition right into it the next day to where I'm discussing more in length. But okay, so welcome to the future, or more so the present, because it is 2 months after I watched this, and now I'm going to have to recite how I felt about it, because I haven't watched it since July 1st. So here we go. I just want to start by saying this is going to be very short, because as I just mentioned, it was a while ago, and it's not really relevant today. I don't mean that in a bad way, like, oh my god, Stranger Things fell off the cliff, but it's had its time. Now House of the Dragon is coming out on Sunday. I know a lot of people are like, ooh, but that's definitely going to be the talk of the mainstream media related to television, at least for the foreseeable future until that concludes. So once more, this is going to be very short, and if you have anything you want to know, ask me in particular, just feel free to do so in the comments, because I want to know what you guys thought about the finale. And of course, if you're interested in something I have to say and I didn't say it here, I don't want to just like not say it and have you wondering. Like, just please ask me, because I can't do everything here. And a lot of times when I finish these discussions or reactions, I'm like, shit, I wish I mentioned something here. There's something I forgot. So first things first, what I wanted to say, I think this is the best season. It's my favorite season so far. A lot of people said season 1 is the best, and I will accept that as an answer. I think season 1 was the second best, in my opinion. It might not have the most action or humor or whatever, but just the level of mystery and the introduction of it was such a great start to the series. Part of the reason why season 1 was so successful and why everyone adores it, or at least the haters or people who are heavily criticizing the later seasons do so, is because the veil of mystery has been lifted, so to speak. There's not that illusion of what is going on. I don't understand what's happening and making all your theories and guesses, because now at this point, we know a lot of the information of what's going on, how it occurs. So people feel not betrayed, but it lacks that sort of appeal because it's solved. We've exposed who's hiding behind the curtain. Like, we know Oz is not the great wizard. It's just a dude with the machine. So I can understand that, but I still don't think that's a justification for sort of shitting on the later seasons just because your little fun trick of not knowing what's really going on is answered. That's just development. That's just progressing the plot, is finding the answers and actually furthering the story along. But hey, it's just me. And part of the reason why this has been my favorite is because, as I said, I thought it was the darkest season so far. You could interpret that as quite literally with the palettes and the coloration. A lot of nighttime visuals, but even more so thematically, we had a lot of darker tones when it was dealing with past traumas and death, and visually, it was also very graphic, so it added a lot of maturity. It's funny because this is TV 14 to my knowledge, so it's not quite pushing TV MA 18, like the real swearing and sexual content. This is just like on the brink of it. And some of the things I watched, I'm like, how did they get away with this? It's very violent, but it doesn't quite make the sort of jumps of language and explicit content visually to really get there. It's funny because it shows you where your priorities are at, where you can sort of have violence, but you can't have people having playtime in bed. I'm not like saying, hey, turn this into a massive orgy or whatever. I just think it's funny because the same thing was true with AMC, like the channel. Whenever Walking Dead was on back in the day, it's like, wow, holy shit, this is so violent. This is so dark and realistic. I can't believe they showed that on the screen. They can't say the F-bomb. Like, what? It just shows you where people's priorities are on TV. I just always found that fascinating. But besides that, wrapping up here, as I said, I'm keeping this really close. I will have to say, I think all the actors did a great job, in particular, the younger ones. I've always mentioned this, I'm terrible with names, and I don't quite want to butcher them. So I'm only going to refer to the characters as their character name, not the actor portraying them. Even though I actually know all the names, but again, it just has to do with pronunciation. And I just don't want to seem the fool 24/7, so I'm just going to say the characters' names. Underrated since season 1, in my opinion. Will, of course, he always delivers in every emotional scene that he's supposed to. The same thing going with 11. Even though we kind of expect it with 11, I think Will has just sort of been like, oh, he's in the back burner for everyone. But I just think, I'm like, damn, put him in a spotlight for once. Jesus Christ. He gets like no credit whatsoever. Not, and as a character, as an actor, like nobody really talks about him. Like, damn. In every scene he's in, that he has to bring the emotion. It's like so believable, so palpable. I'm like, Jesus, dude, this guy can act. But the season was really delivered by 2 performances in particular. Well, more so 2 scenarios. First and foremost, the one between Max and Lucas. That one. Jesus, man. Editing this video and then watching that shit again, I'm like, oh my God, dude, hitting me hard again. Oh, that was crazy. I'm going to go into that a bit more, but I just thought they both did a phenomenal job. I think Sadie Sink actually won some kind of award for being like a best supporting character or actor. And I'm like, that's deserved. That was a really great job. Not just in this episode feeling the sort of fear of death, but also the one where you can see like the determination and the will to live. I think that was in episode 4, Dear Billy, like trying to escape Vecna and really just finding the fight in you just to keep going and displaying that visually upon your face. I think she did a great job. I'm telling you, the younger cast in this show is just like stellar all around. And then the next one I would mention would be Dustin's scene talking to Eddie's uncle. That one really got me. I didn't put it in the reactions, but I had tissues in my pocket because I was like kind of suspecting this shit was going to be a little bit sad at the end. So in between scenes, I was just like, damn! Especially the Dustin scene, believe it or not. Max's one hit me hard, but it was just really the acting with Dustin that was like, I don't know, it just moved me. I think it's because Max's scene opened the gate for me for that sort of flooding. And before we wrap up, I have to say one, possibly two little nitpick / criticisms that I see. I'm not the only one in feeling this way. And that has to do surrounding Max's death and not death. I know she's sort of resurrected now by 11. She kind of force healed her. So I will have to say there was a slight misinterpretation, at least I believe, from people. Because a lot of people are saying they wish Max would have stayed dead. And then you have some people saying, how could you say that just because she might potentially be blind or disabled? They still deserve to live. I think it might be a misinterpretation or misunderstanding, so to speak. But I'm not going to speak for anyone in that part. At least I agree with them in terms of I believe Max should have stayed dead, but for a different reason. Mine lies in just with the fact of the story at large and the dramatic impact that this could have for sort of moving forward. I felt it completely undermined any sort of development or sort of build-up that we were leading to when we were feeling the act of consequence, because there hasn't really been a lot of that in this series, unfortunately. And what I mean by that is you can't really feel the stakes as you do in other shows. I know it's different. You can't really compare two different shows and expect one to sort of be the layout of the other. But when we're telling stories, there's certain aspects that you have to keep for individual character growth and the narrative to progress forward and to really feel, hey, here's conclusion, here's change, here's an arc of the story and the characters, and a big part of that is characters dying. It's death. And the Duffer Brothers mentioned Game of Thrones, which is kind of like the perfect example of killing off characters abruptly just to sort of have those like, oh my god moments, but also it services the story perfectly. Since season 1, Stranger Things pretty much kills minor characters, or each season they introduce a fan favorite and then kill them the same season. Eddie, Billy, Bob, Alexei. Billy was in 2 seasons, but you get the point. They just continually add these characters and kill them, and people are like, oh, I liked Chrissy. Well, she died. I wasn't the biggest fan of her, but I'm just listing examples of how they tend to kill characters that were just more so added. And it somewhat does bother me because I wish they would have kept that Max thing, because imagine how powerful that would have been if they just have to deal with the consequence of death. And the reality of it, like, wow, we lost one of our own. Because now that feeling has potentially disappeared forever because Max is somewhat alive. I don't know if it's Vecna playing a trick or if she's brain dead because 11 went into her mind, I believe, and there was no one else there. Maybe she's in a coma. I don't know. We don't know the exact details. But I think it would have been really good to see just because of the fact of plot armor. There is a lot of plot armor in this series, and I'm realizing it more and more now, speaking afterwards, in particular with the whole scene with Vecna. Everyone went into the Upside Down, and only Eddie and Max were, well, Max was out, but only Eddie died. I had to take a slight pause because I'm trying to figure out a way to word this correctly without, like, shitting on the show, because that is not my intention. So I'm going to try to do this as unbiased and, like, point directly to you as possible. This show has a lot of plot armor, and I'm not gonna lie about that. Characters surviving in situations where they should be dying, that's more so of a nitpick, but what I'm talking about is we have these characters being put in these terrible, difficult, and very dangerous situations every single season, and yet they always triumph and come back. Hopper came back, 11 came back, Max came back, they just keep surviving, and then here's the whole thing with Vecna. They hype him up as the biggest bad we've ever had. And 11 still bodies the shit out of him. She did it when she was like 7 years old. She comes back now while he's supposed to be even more powerful after he absorbs and kills and whatever they were saying he does. He like steals the powers of his victims. Nope, she still bodied the shit out of him. I know a lot of people are like, no, she failed. She's never lost before. No, she didn't. She banished him out of the Upside Down or whatever. And then Nancy shotgunned the shit out of him. I'm like, damn. How am I supposed to take this guy seriously if he's getting bodied in the second to last season? I felt like this should have been the Infinity War to season 5 being Endgame. Like, I felt there should have been more impact and loss. I didn't really feel like Vecna's a danger or a threat. Now we have to deal with the Upside Down sort of merging with the Earth, which I'll get into next season whenever that releases in a number of years. But sure, that is upping the stakes, but that's not Vecna. That's more so the monsters and the realities colliding, not an individual person, because I kind of wish they would have not made 11 so OP, because she just always saves the day at the end of every season, minus season 3, because she kind of lost her powers there at the end. Season 1, destroying the Demogorgon. Season 2, the same thing with the Mind Flayer, destroying the gate, the big gate, and closing it. Now the thing with Vecna, saving Max, bringing her back to life, and overpowering Vecna twice, 3 times in the same season. Once when she was a kid, I know it was a flashback and it takes years apart, but the still point, visually, as we're seeing, she's doing this so easily. I know Mike gave his little speech about love and they met and it's all fate and yada yada yada, but I'm just like, dude, I don't know if I can take Vecna seriously anymore, because she just easily is just like, nah, I'm stronger than you. I'm not complaining like, oh my god, I hate 11. She's one of my favorite characters, but I just wish we felt like, wow, Vecna is somehow now more powerful than her. I'm probably the only one thinking that, but that's just something that slightly bothered me, the whole thing, where they were hyping up Vecna as being a being who has only increased with his power, but he's still lost all the same. And he kind of just failed miserably. He couldn't overpower 11 when he was backed up against the wall. And yeah. So, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. That just kind of bothered me. And the whole fact that they're saying, yeah, we're not Game of Thrones. We're not going to kill off our characters. And just don't really feel the consequence there. So, that's just like not a minor nitpick. That's just like a major one. But that's just something I was feeling that I was criticizing and feeling internally, like really thinking about it. Like, damn, I wish this would have been a little bit different, a little bit more like, if y'all do something dangerous, you're going to die. you understand what I mean? I hope some of you do at the very least. But anyway, as I said, if any of you have any questions, feel free to ask. I mentioned this in a video which I recorded earlier, but it's not out yet. So if I'm sweating, I apologize. I can't do anything about it. As I said, it's like 90 degrees. I can't wait for the winter. I can record a lot more because it will not be this hot in this room. So yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this. This was a fun, fantastic dark season. I really loved it, minus sort of the criticisms I just laid out. But that's the expectation, or that's what the reality of with everything I watch. I'm always going to find something I dislike. That is just human nature. We always sort of pick out things we don't like or wish we could have done differently. But for the overwhelming most part, I really loved this series and this season in particular, and I do think it was the best. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Again, let me know what you think down in the comments, and if you have to ask me anything, feel free to do so. But until then, I will catch you folks in my next video, the House of the Dragon series that will come out on a Monday. So yeah, see you folks then.